Things are picking up. Great sales this week. Want to know what sold? Stay tuned. Hi everyone, it's Stephanie from Three Queens Resale, and if you are new to my channel, thank you so much. I'm gonna take my hat off so you can see my face for joining me. And if you are returning, thanks for coming back. It means a lot to me as I work on building my YouTube channel and creating a space for people who are interested in reselling, but kind of like apprehensive about starting, don't know what to do, um, and who are just looking for a regular girl like themselves who started off selling things in their closet and now it's this. So if that's your jam, hit that like button, subscribe to follow me on my journey, and let's get into what sold this week. So I had a pretty good week. Let's see what I got. So if you're not following me, I am working on a listing challenge. I am trying to list 1,000 items in 30 days on Poshmark. Poshmark is my main selling app, so that's where I spend a lot of my energy and time, and what a lot of my content centers around how to be successful on Poshmark. So I do think my listing challenge is starting to impact my sales. If you're not following me on my listing challenge, I'll link my first video up here that I posted yesterday. Just a progress report of how things are going after day 11. And I'm going to share more regular progress reports. I've been sharing them on Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, why not? Go there. Instagram is linked below. So yeah, let's get into it. It's game day. I have to go down to Bloomington, Indiana, to cheer on my daughter, who is a cheerleader. I'll pop a picture in because she's so cute. Um, and yeah, it's their last home game of the season. It is going to be freezing cold, and I have a cold. So yeah, I'm just going for double pneumonia here. But a mom's got to do what a mom's got to do. So we're going to start with what sold. November 8th, Monday, November 8th, we had 7 sales, and this first one was on Poshmark. It was the Spartina 449 Haywood Seaside Wallet. This was a consignment item. I do consign things, and my consignee gets 40%, and I take 60 after the fees. So it sold for $8, and after the $2.95 fee and the $1.50 shipping discount, I was left with $3.55. I really thought this would go for more because this is kind of an expensive brand. I do have a few purses from this brand that I love, so I was just maybe it's because it was like a nautical theme in the middle of fall. Who knows? Next up were these Rebel Ruthless Lace-Up cheer shoes, size 6. These were donated to me by my daughter's roommate, who cheered All-Star with Courtney, but decided not to continue cheering, and she got these like at the end of the season. I think she used them one competition, and so they were in excellent condition, and these shoes are super expensive. So they sold for $36, and after the $7.20 fees and the $1.50 shipping discount, I was left with $27.30. Those had been listed since September. Next up was this Massimo gray distressed high-rise pant, size 16. They sold on Poshmark for $7. Massimo is a Target brand, so I never expect to get much for those. And they were also a consignment item from Coach Aaron, my daughter's high school cheer coach. They sold for $7 after the $2.95 in fees. I was left with $4.05. And then on Kidizen, yay, Kidizen showed up for me. Kidizen showed up for me. I cross-listed Kidizen, and so I'm beginning to as we move into the new year, I'm reflecting on which platforms that I'm going to stay on. This was the year of try it and find out, and moving on into 2022, I'm going to definitely streamline my listing process and which platforms that I choose to sell on. And I'll create a video based on my reasonings why I'm deciding to stay on the platforms that I am. But anyway, these Hudson jeans, I'm running a 40% off sale. I was sold for $24, and after the $3.38 in fees and the $6 package envelope, oops, I didn't total it out. I made about $12 off those jeans. So yeah, not as much as I would like, but it was all good. I am trying to move a lot of inventory, so I'll take it. Next on Poshmark was this Nike pullover, gray. It sold for $10, and after the $2.95 in fees, I was left with $7.05. So a lot of comments that I get in person, because I have a lot of friends in person that I resell with. Everybody knows that I resell now, and what they want, the number one question is what brand sell. And I would say if you had anything Nike, to list it. If you're not using it, you can't fit it, you don't want it, go ahead and list your Nike items, because Nike, it sells consistently. Now, I'm not saying be realistic, do your comps, be realistic with your expectations for your items, but especially this time of year, pullover, sweatshirts, quarter zips, those things are moving, as well as the joggers and other long pants. Nike is definitely a bread and butter brand for me. Next up on Poshmark was this H&M Kidizen pullover, or kids pullover, size 8. This was my daughter Jackie's. It sold for $7 after the $2.95 fee. I made $4.05. And then next was another consignment consignment item. This was from my friend Jennifer. I'm going to write her down. Jennifer, because I like to make sure I write them down so I can give them their commission. This Old Navy Red Stars skirt, size extra large, sold for $7 after the $2.95 fees, $4.05 in profit, bringing our Monday total for those 7 items to $70.05. Moving on to Tuesday, November 9th, this Lululemon full zip jacket sold for $21 after the $4.20 in fees. I was left with $16.80. I actually picked it up for Courtney. I did buy it at a consignment shop, and I paid a little bit more than I wasn't planning to thrift it, like to flip it. I bought it for Courtney, and because I was like, oh, this is cute, and it's got the big Lululemon. She was not feeling it, so I don't know if Lululemon is not her jam anymore, but I went ahead and listed it, and it sold a little less than I would have expected, but glad to see it go. Next up was an item that I had since last year, and this shows you how the supply chain issues are working in our favor in some regards as resellers. So these Cuddly Dud this long sleeve top, small, I sold for $8, and after the $2.95 in fees and the $1.50 shipping discount, I made a profit of $3.55. But the thing is, and I just realized this because I went to look for one in my own size to wear at this cold football game today, and you cannot find thermal things. So if you are out at the thrift stores sourcing, look for long johns, the Cuddly Duds, the base layer pieces, because I cannot find them. And other people are going to need them as well, because people work outside in the cold. I used to like to put them on my kids when they were on the bus stop. And some people are just cold-natured like me. So if you see those, get those. And if you have some you're not using, go ahead and get them listed. Next up was this a Poshmark sale, and it was this Guess pullover t-shirt size large. It sold for $8 after the $2.95 fees. I was left with 505, and that came from my friend May. Her husband Larry passed away. I think that was in May, right before my dad passed away. And so she gave me all of his clothes that she had let friends and family come in and go through his closets. And then anything that they couldn't fit or didn't want or didn't take, she let me have them. And it was like 14 bags of things. It took me all summer to go through and into the fall to get those things listed. And now they are starting to sell. Between Larry and my father, Lonnie, I have now a majority men's store on Poshmark. So I'm really working to source more women's items to kind of balance out. But yeah, if you need men's items, hit up Three Queens Resale on Poshmark and link in bio. Next up was this Tord Blazer 4X black. It sold in Mecari. I picked this up on a dollar day with a navy blue one. The navy blue one sold right away, and which I thought it would be the other way around. I thought the black one would sell first. Um, but I've been hanging on to this one. It sold on Mecari for $27 after the $3.78 fees and $7 in shipping that I paid. I was left with $16.22. So flipping $1 into 16 is what I do. So that leaves Tuesday's total to $41.62 for those four items. Moving on to Wednesday, um, November 10th on Poshmark were these Della Mary Jane, like a block heel shoe, size 6. They sold for $23, and after the $4.60 in fees and the $1.50 in shipping, I was left with $16.90, and those were a consignment item from my consignee Julia. And next up, I had another consignee item from Jennifer. It was this leather tote bag red. It was unbranded. If it had been branded, I could have gotten more money for it. But it sold for $11, and after the $2.95 in fees, I was left with $1 and the $1.50 shipping discount. I was left with $6.55, and both of those items were listed in September. Next up was this hard candy sweater size small. The person wanted to return it. They opened up a case and wanted to return it on Poshmark. I was like, fine, whatever, because it didn't fit. Even though Poshmark does not take, you can't return for fit, but I just really don't have the energy to deal with negative 1-star reviews. So if you, because something didn't fit you, even though measurements are in the listings, read people, read. But it sold for $20, and after the actually, I got my money. This was one of those issues where they opened up a case, but Poshmark, I think, sided with me. Like I had a couple of cases, and this one Poshmark sided with me. So it sold for $20 after the $4 in fees and the $1.50 shipping discount. I was left with $14.50. As far as cases being open, my sensitive spirit tries not to take it personally. Now that I am dealing with the world and selling pre-owned items on the internet, I try to be as clear as possible in the photographs, as well as in the listing with the description, and provide as much information as I can. If I don't know something, I say I don't know. And even with all your best efforts, people are going to forgot that they ordered something pre-owned and think that and be unhappy and really fit in size. I personally, I'm excited to do a haul on the things that I bought on Poshmark. I bought from two different resellers some fall things for myself, and one of my boxes is up there. I'm waiting for the other one so that I can do a little haul video for you of those things. But I really don't like to buy things that I off of Poshmark unless I am short on size. So, I'm not going to return my items, if they don't fit, I'll just reposh them because I know how Poshmark works. But if you're a new reseller and you're on the app, you're going to hear some people say, "Oh, I don't do measurements." I would go ahead and do measurements, but at least bust to bust or pit to pit and length on tops, so that people can kind of. I used to do like shoulders and sleeves and all that. I don't do that now, but just do what you can to be as clear as you can about the items that you're selling. Next up on Poshmark was this Wilson genuine suede leather vest. It sold for $20. I believe this was one of Larry's items. So um, after the $4 in fees, I was left with $16. And May did not want to consign the items. She just gave them to me. And so it's great when you have someone who wants to support your business by just giving you free things. So I had told her that I would donate a portion of the proceeds to charity. So if you have any good charity ideas that I can donate proceeds to from Larry's items, if you would drop them in the comment. I have some of my own, but I'm always looking for new places to support. Um, I would love to know about them, and definitely I will share that information on my Instagram as well. Next up was these Jack Rogers navy blue ballet flats. I picked these up at a consignment shop. They had been listed since September. I only paid $1 for them, but they sold for $12 after the $2.95 in fees and $1 shipping discount. I made $7.55. Next up was this paper denim and cloth extra large shirt. I actually sold this twice in 1 week. Um, Something I messed up on my list perfectly, and when I was cross posting stuff, I noticed that I listed some items twice. It just wasn't paying attention because it tells you where it's listed at. And I thought that I was listing them to Mecari, but I was really listing them to Poshmark again. And so I caught it, and I thought I'd gone through and deleted all the duplicate listings on Poshmark, but I hadn't. I've missed a couple. So it sold first to this person for $17, and after the $33.40 in fees, I was left with and $1.50 shipping discount. I was left with $12.10. The other offer was worth more, but since they asked for it first, I did the right thing. Next up on Poshmark were these Isabella Maternity jeggings size 6. They sold for, which that is a Target brand. They sold for $11 after the $2.95 in fees and the $1.50 shipping discount. I was left with $6.55. I probably am done with maternity after I sell the few things that I have. It just is not a quick seller for me. It doesn't go for much. It's just I haven't been happy with it, so yeah, I think I'm gonna be done with maternity. So if you do well sourcing maternity, leave me a comment below what brands, because I am not. So that brings my Wednesday total to for those 7 items to $80.15. Okay, I'm back, and I have a different outfit on because 2 days have passed. Yeah, I was taping the video, my what sold video. Had to pause to make chicken dip to take to the game. Was gonna come back from the game and finish, but I got so sick. And so now I'm back to finish up. So yeah, don't ask questions. I'm here for it. So let's get into finishing up week 2 in November. So better late than never. I was on Thursday. It's time for Thursday, November 11th, which was Veterans Day. I had 5 sales on Thursday. The first was this Tony Lambert knit sweater, size large. It sold for $20 on Poshmark, and after the $4 in fees, I was left with 16. That had been listed since September. Next was this Worthington cow neck sweater, size extra large. That was actually my sweater that I don't wear anymore. Since I'm no longer teaching, I'm getting rid of a lot of my career wear. Um, and that had been listed since June. It was listing 828 for the year. It is so crazy to me that from January to June, I had only listed 828 items. And in the past 12 days, I've listed like almost 500 items. I think I'm going to hit 500 tonight if I have the energy to stay up and continue listing. So, yeah, craziness. But anyway, I digress. So it sold for $9 after the $2.95 in fees. I was left with $1.50. Let me start over. It sold for $9 after the $2.95 in fees and the $1.50 shipping discount. I was left with $4.55. Next was this Kate Spade Allen Street crossbody. It was a consignment item from Krista, who I have. She gives me really good stuff to consign. I'm looking for my pencil because I need to write her name down on that while I'm thinking about it. I'm not pushing drugs, but this is what I'm taking so that I could function like a reasonable person. It might be time to actually go to a doctor and get an antibiotic, but I hate to take antibiotics. But anyway, that's from my consigning Krista, and it sold for $50 after the $10 in fees. I was left with $40. She will get 40% of that, and I will take 60% of that. If you live in the central Indiana and you're interested in consigning with me, click on the link below, and my husband will come and pick up your stuff, and we'll get it listed. Next was this Adidas short sleeve t-shirt, extra large gray. It was the 1,135th listing. It sold for $8 on Poshmark after the $2.95 in fees. I was left with $5.05. And then finally, on Thursday, was this North Face jacket. No, North Face t-shirt. It sold for $20 after the $1.80 in fees and the $6.19 shipping. I was left with 12.01, and that sold on Grailed. It was listing 1,388 for the year and had been listed since September, bringing Thursday's total to $77.64. So, if you're not listing on Grailed, you might give it a try. They have specifically menswear, and since I have so many menswear things from my father and another consignee, Larry, who had passed away, both of those gentlemen had passed away, and so I had 14 bags from Larry and probably over 500 on the low end pieces from my dad. I decided to look for other places besides Poshmark to list men's items, and so I found Grailed, and I'm having some success over there. So if you have menswear, you might consider using that. I don't have a special code or anything, just sharing what I know. Finally, oh no, we got a few more days. November 12th, Friday, November 12th, I sold 6 items. First were these Bowden shorts, size 8, new with tags. They sold on Poshmark for $24 after the $4.50 in fees, and the $1.50 shipping discount. I was left with $17.70. Next on Poshmark were these Airwalk high top sneaker boots, size 8.5. I don't know where Airwalk is sold, if it's even a good brand, but this is one of those things that I sourced when I first started going to the bins, and I was just picking up anything that was in good condition and looked like some teeny bopper would buy. So had them a long time. I'm glad to be rid of them. They sold for $8 after the $2.95 in fees and the $1.50 shipping discount. I was left with $3.55. and room for a new pair of shoes that will make me more money. Next on Poshmark was this croft and borrow tank, black size extra large. This had been one of my items. I actually think I thrifted it myself. It had been listed since June. It was item 332. It sold for $8 after the $2.95 in fees. I was left with $5.05. Next up, also on Poshmark, was this Robert Graham striped button down size medium. My Robert Graham's does better in the larger sizes. This was a smaller size. I think I only had like $1 into it, so it sold for $21 after the $4.50 in fees. I was left with $16.80. It had been listed since June, and it was listing $955. And then also on Poshmark was this J. Jill purple plaid 3/4 sleeve blouse, size medium. It had been listed since December of last year, so almost a year. It sold for $14 after the $2.95 in fees and the $1.50 shipping discount. I was left with $9.55. And then finally for Friday, I had a tradesy sale. These Dansko Olivia animal print calf hair clog type, the Dansko shoe, size 9.5. They sold for $39.85. I paid $7.50 for the shipping or for the fees, so I was left with around $32.35. So that brings my Friday total to $82.65 for those 6 items. And then Saturday, November 13th, I had 3 sales. The first was this J. McLuhan gray pant that I had since March 2 years ago. It just all of a sudden sold. Yay! They sold for $18, but I think they kept getting closeted clear out, and I never raised the price back up, so they got a good pant for cheap. They sold for $18, and after the $3.60 in fees, I was left with $14.50, and those had been listed forever. Next, Poshmark was this exhilaration blouse, size medium. It sold for $13, and after the $2.95 in fees, I was left with $10.05. That had been listed since September. It was listing $1,439. And then also on Poshmark were these petty patent leather Mary Jane, size 12.5. They sold for $29 after the $5.80 in fees. I was left with $23.20. And next up is a Saturday. No, I just did Saturday. Sorry, Sunday. So November 14th. On Poshmark, these Coach Tall Signature Rain Boots, size 9. These were mine. I had 3 pair of rain boots, and I never wore these. So I listed them. They were one of the last items that I listed before I went to bed, and they sold in the middle of the night. They sold for $100. After the $20 in fees, I was left with $80. Next is this Karl Lagerfeld black heeled like silk mule, size 5. This is the 3rd time this item has sold on Poshmark. It's been returned twice. The first time the person said it was navy blue instead of black, or black instead of navy blue. And then I changed the listing again, and it sold again to the opposite way. And so this time I looked at it. I Googled it, and I had other people look at it. We all think it's black. So I put black in the listing. It sold again. This is the lowest it's ever sold for. It sold for $13, which, whatever, buy. And then after the $2.95 in fees, I was left with $10.05. Hopefully no returns. Let's see if it's been received yet. I'm gonna check it out. Let's see what they said. See, this is live. This is live YouTube. Well, live taping YouTube because I'm not going to edit any of these out. Sales. Let's see. Have they received it yet? It says pending acceptance. So, fingers crossed for me. Next is this Cambia pullover sweater size large. It had been listed since September. It was item 1,550 in my listings. It sold for $19 after the $3.80 in fees and $1.50 shipping discount. I was left with $13.70. Next on Poshmark was this Deb 2XL black strapless dress. I'm not really sure where I picked this up at, but it had been listed since April. It was item 717. After it sold for $11 after the $2.95 in fees. I was left with $8.05. I do have some other formal wear to list that I've picked up at the bins. I want to kind of get it dry cleaned first, steamed real good, looking really nice because people are going out now. So next up was this club room sweater size large. It had been listed since September. It was item 1,442. It sold for $23 after the $4.60 in fees and the $1.50 shipping discount. I was left with $16.90. Next on Mecari, I sold another pair of Coach boots. So if you got some Coach laying around, especially, boots, get them listed. This Coach Peggy snow boot, size 8 black, sold for $72 after the $9.59 in fees and the $11.60 shipping, which I paid. Those were heavy. I was left with 51.36, and is that a 3? Yeah, 36, and I had picked those up at Goodwill back in the summer. I do believe I paid up like $7 for them, $7 or $8. Next was this Kidizen. It was a London Fog boys coat. It sold for $22.50 after the $3.50 in fees. I was left with $19.30, bringing my Sunday total to $199.36 for those 7 items. So now let's get to the weekly numbers. Right here. Our weekly numbers. So week 2. So I sold $599.12 in items. For the month, I've sold $1,011.27. My goal was $2,200, so I'm 46% of my goal at the 2-week mark. So items sold. This week I sold 39. For the month, I've sold 64. My goal was to sell 160 items in the next month. I was not doing the listing challenge when I made these goals, so I'm going to have to up my goal for items that I want to sell next month because I've listed a lot of stuff. So it normally takes 2 to 3 weeks for my sales to catch up with my listings, so I'm expecting to start seeing more items sell. But that puts me at 40% of my items sold goal. And then my goal is to have an average sale price of $15. This week the average sale price was $15.36, and for the month the average is $15.80. So I'm definitely on target with that. So that was my week, week 2 of November. So if you're still here with me, definitely give me a thumbs up, give me a like. If you like my content, consider subscribing to my channel, and definitely leave me a comment. Just drop me your closet name or say hi in the comments. The more you interact with my videos, the more YouTube pushes them out to other resellers or people searching for reseller content, and that will help me gain more traction for my channel. But I enjoy just talking to you too. So, thank you for staying with me this long. And until next time, thanks for stopping by.